gas retrofit.
Thank you very much. Great question. You know, again, we're touring all of the facilities and coming up with our philosophy on what should happen and when. And I think that the fact that you've got natural gas in abundance so close to the Lambton generating station, it would make good sense that natural gas be considered, if you will, for Lambton. You've got other coal facilities that are scheduled to close by the end of 2014 as well, and perhaps there's biomass opportunities at others. We're certainly exploring the use at all of the existing coal facilities. So, but here in Lambton, with gas so close, it makes really good sense that that be a viable option. But while I've got the word coal going, let me just remind you, when we, in the legislature, we talk about coal, and I just want to let you know that it was the Conservative Party that asked for and initiated the closing of the first coal plant. You know, we like to get tarred with the brush that we're anti-green, but let's just remember, in Ontario, who initiated the first closure of a coal plant was indeed our party. It was Elizabeth Whitmer of our party who initiated that. I'd just like to end my thoughts with that note.
Got one more gentleman here.
Hello, my name's Alan Huey. I'm in a little different predicament. I was ended up with a solar farm right across the road from us. We had absolutely no say in it. The council had no say in it. It would never have been there if the council had any say. We are now faced with 300 acres. When these solar panels start off gassing, we do not know what's in them clouds. That will happen in about 5 years' time. We cannot even get our own health units to tell us anything about that. They said, as far as we're concerned, there is no problem. And that's the end of the story on that. Living out in the country, we don't look at deer and stuff. We look at fences, solar panels. Right across from our house was a lay down we put up with this construction for the last 6 months here since August. We have not been able to sit outside because of the noise created from all the machinery and stuff. Now we've got compressors running right across from our house. We have a guard shaft right across from our house. So we are now monitored 24/7. And there is no thing we can do. So when they're telling you that they have the right to monitor their property, they are not lying. They will come in, and if they figure they need monitored, you could end up with guard shack, guards, anything. Right across from you. Now the other thing you better keep in mind with these solar panels and the wind farms, don't worry about what it's going to cost you. You're going to lose your kids, your grandkids. They will not be able to afford to live here anymore. Their families will be gone. Make no mistake about that.
Well, great comment to close tonight. I think, at least in my opinion, this government has been an utter failure when it comes to, when it comes to debt. We have Don Drummond in his report a couple weeks ago said that the Ontario debt is going to reach $411 billion by 2017. When this premier was elected in 2003, it was $120 billion. So that's how much it's gone up in a short period of time, and of course 600,000 people unemployed. I just want to say thank you very, very much for sharing your story, Sarah. Very emotional story. You know, I'm just really happy that you came, and really happy that everyone came and were brave enough to stand up and tell us these personal stories. We will take them back to Queen's Park. I will ensure that Chris Bentley, the Energy Minister, and Premier McGuinty get a full report on what was said tonight. We had 2 people taking notes, and we'll ensure that that gets delivered in the legislature to their desks. We are planning on holding these town hall meetings on various topics. I'm sure we'll be doing a Wind Turbine 1 and Green Energy Act 1 again. elsewhere in the riding. Tomorrow night, there's one in Chatham, and I'll let Rick just mention it in a second. But we held one pre-budget consultation in Strathroy a few weeks ago. That was well attended. This tonight, of course, is well above expectations. So it's important as you're MVP to hear feedback, to hear what you're thinking, and I'm going to continue doing that throughout the next year. Again, just a reminder, 2 o'clock tomorrow at Trillium Village in Strathroy. Speaker Dave Levesque is coming. The price is right, and because it's free. And what I'll do just before we wrap up, just quickly have Rick and Bob just say a couple words. But everyone, thank you very, very much for everything, for your support. I look forward to working with you in the years ahead. So here's Rick.
Thanks very much, Monty, and again, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. Just a quick reminder, tomorrow, in my riding, Chatham, Essex, at Deer Run Golf Course, 7 p.m. We'll be running a very similar town hall meeting. I have an expert speaking with regards to health issues, coming in from Ottawa. She'll be speaking for 20 minutes. I also have a PhD, Dr. Scott Petrie, who will also be speaking with regards to environmental issues. And then, of course, we have our own energy critic, Vic Fidelli, and Vic will be speaking. And we've also invited the Minister of Energy. Unfortunately, he's unable to make it. But we asked, and but say la vie. We also have, we'll have some people talking also with regards to property values. So again, appreciate the comments tonight as well. So again, tomorrow night at Deer Run Golf Course. That's just Bloomfield Road and Highway 3 in South Kent. So again, thank you very much.
Well, thanks, Monty, for the invitation here this evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out and speaking so eloquently about your personal stories, whether it's family, your livestock, your personal lives that have been affected. And I attended the meeting with in Grand Bend a number of weeks ago with a number of people here in the room, and had an opportunity to attend there, and that's why it's so important to come back again tonight and to hear the stories so that we can take these issues back to Queen's Park, work with try and work with the other opposition party and try and force the government to do the right thing. We're really in a real awkward spot because most of the other members that got elected are all from urban ridings, and they're not affected the way you ladies and gentlemen are, and that's a real problem. So any of you who have influence through your wind action group or through personal connections in these other ridings like Peterborough, do whatever you can to try and get some of these chapters started there. If there's people that got links to the land that you know that live there, have them write those members and try and get groups of people together like this, because that's the only way we're going to make these kind of changes outside of an election where we change the actual government and we can get out and do the right thing. And I'd just like to close, like there's an old quote from Helen Keller, very famous person, and I'd just like to close on that, where Helen said, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So stick together, keep fighting the good fight, and we'll do everything we can do at Queen's Park to work with you, and I look forward to more meetings like this with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out this evening. I just want to take a moment to ask you to thank Monty for taking this initiative to host this forum. It has been very educational. To Lisa with Goats, my past life I was the general manager of Ontario Dairy Goat Cooperative. Got some vets you should talk to about false pregnancies. And the question about Stephen Harper supporting it, of course my answer was yes, but let me explain why very quickly. Yes, okay. And my reason to say Stephen Harper's aware of this is my colleague in Huron, Bruce Ben Lobb, sits on the Agriculture Committee, which Larry Miller chairs. Larry's from Great Russell and Sound. And we had a Huron Federation of Agriculture and the MPP forum a couple of weeks back. And this whole issue came up. And Ben put it quite frankly, if our provincial leaders, in terms of our local government, will not take a stand and do what's right, the Agriculture Committee will put a recommendation forward to stand up for rural Ontario. And if you want to exercise and take take up Bob on his suggestion. There's a huge rally being planned on April 3rd in Toronto. It's in conjunction with the FIT conference